President Buhari directs strict compliance with payment of taxes by foreign local companies. President Muhammadu Buhari Thursday in Abuja directed the Federal Inland Revenue Services (FIRS) and related government agencies to plug all revenues leakages by ensuring strict compliance of tax payments by foreign companies operating in Nigeria, urging deployment of more digital platforms and seamless connections. Speaking virtually at the first National Tax Dialogue held at the Conference Hall of the State House, the President ordered all government agencies to automate operations and ensure more synergy in advancing the interest of the nation in revenue generation.
It is not enough that our citizens and local businesses pay their fair share of taxes. Equally, foreign businesses must also not be allowed to continue to exploit our markets and economy without paying appropriate taxes. Accordingly, the Federal Inland Revenue Service has my mandate to speedily put all measures in place to fully implement programs to stamp out base erosion and profit shifting in all their ramifications and generally automate its tax processes. In line with this, I have directed all government agencies and businesses enterprises to grant Federal Inland Revenue Services access to their systems for seamless connections. You must ensure that its deployment of technology for automation is done in line with international best practices. In particular, FIRS can borrow a leaf from other countries which have successfully automated their tax processes.
The president said Nigeria will continue to work with the inclusive framework on equal footing to develop internationally acceptable rules for taxation of the digital economy, while hoping that the inclusive framework would have evolved into an acceptable multilateral solution that will comprehensively address the tax challenges of the digitalized economy by the middle of 2021. President Buhari assured citizens that the government will continue to pursue its mandate of improving lives through investments in infrastructural projects like railways, roads, electricity, healthcare, and education, in spite of dwindling
Our
revenues
government
and
has
challenge
continued to
of
pursue
coronavirus.
all those projects despite massive decline in government revenues occasioned by a combination of factors, among which is the coronavirus pandemic. The devastating effect of coronavirus on the health and economy of the world is evident across every strata of our society. It is obvious to every citizen of this country that our economy is not immune from the global economic downturn. As such, we have had to confront the conflicting situations of reflating the economy and at the same time raising revenue to meet our budgetary needs. It is within the context that the government undertook an expensive budgetary projection of over 13 trillion naira for 2021. For some years now, the government has inevitably resorted to deficit budgeting as a result of declining revenues. As we might expect, this has led to increase in Nigeria's debt profile, which stood at about 32 trillion naira in September last year. This funding gap created by the dwindling government revenue, therefore, underscores the importance of the national tax dialogue we are holding today. The nation has ever made progress without having to pay for it or make the necessary sacrifice. I therefore call on all Nigerians to be alive to their tax obligations. This government is strategically restructuring the tax revenue mix in favor of indirect taxes in accordance with our national tax policy document. To this end, Federal Inland Revenue Service is mandated to do all that is required in order to efficiently collect tax revenue due from transactions carried out using local and foreign online platforms. The government has made relevant statutory amendment to tax laws in the Finance Act 2020.
The president said the government had inevitably resorted to deficit budgeting as a result of declining revenues for some years, resulting in increase in Nigeria's debt
This
profile.
administration is, however, not seeking to increase the tax burden upon the citizens, but to plug the existing tax loopholes or leakages and to ensure even and equitable application of the tax laws. This was clearly demonstrated by the provision of the Finance Act 2019, whereby government exempted small companies from tax and reduced the income tax rate for medium companies from 30% to 20%. In the Finance Act 2020, which I signed into law at the tail end of 2020, we went further to cushion the burden of tax on the low-wage workers by exempting minimum wage from personal income tax. I am hoping that the inclusive framework would have evolved into an acceptable multilateral solution that will comprehensively address the tax challenges of the digitalized economy by the middle of 2021. Pending the agreement.
In his keynote, President of the African Development Bank (AFDB), Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, projected a rebound of the Nigerian economy from recession with a 1.5% growth rate in 2021 and 2% growth rate in 2022. Dr. Adesina said taxes should be employed as instruments for promoting development by encouraging private sector companies to take up responsibilities in infrastructure and attracting foreign direct investments, admonishing that prolonged tax holidays could be counterproductive. Minister of Finance Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed said the government will improve its template for tax collection, especially in the face of dwindling revenues due to the coronavirus pandemic, describing 2021 as a year of recovery for the economy.